Dr. Frankenstein and Doctor Moreau walk into a bar and they say to each other, hey, why don't we mess up some animals? And that is how Pigasus, the game, was created. Pigasus is a game of recognition with some elements in common with Spotted that has, however, to do with really messed up animals. Also, it is harder, it's cognitively tougher than Spotted, but still, actually, you can play with adults and especially you can play with children. Actually, I played it only with my daughters that are currently 7 and 9 to give you a sense. And it started weird. They didn't like it at all at the beginning, but they kept the faith because of something I'll show you soon. And then the game really grew on them. We warmed up to it, and by the end, they were asking me to play more and more and more. At the beginning of the game was confusing, but what really kept the faith was the presence of the Pigasus. During the game, you will need to recognize certain patterns. When you think you have it, you grab the Pigasus and you squish it. Did I hear that right? In case you missed that. If you're a parent, you know that why would I even need a game around this? That's all you need to keep my kids entertained all day. And it's true, the Pigasus really helps sell the game. Come on, even adults can't resist the charm of a Pigasus. However, we also have a game. Yes, we do. The game revolves around these cards. Now, the concept, which is really unusual. There are these 9 animals, so look at them, and you may want to keep the rulebook open on the table so that kids and adults can look at it. And Dr. Frankenstein and Dr. Moreau, they decided to mess them up and basically to take the head of an animal and the pattern, the skin pattern, or the hair pattern, the body pattern, and to put it on the anatomy of another animal. So now you would have something that has the shape of a shark, but it has the pattern of the snail and the head of the snail. Or something that has the shape of the lobster, but the head of the pelican, and it's white with yellow claws. Right, yeah, totally madness. And this is what these things look like. Yeah, at the beginning I found them a little bit disturbing, but my kids found them totally hilarious. So what we have here is the gorilla and the lobster. Now, as these animals were messed up, however, also beautiful romantic matches or bonds of friendships were created because, of course, the gorilla or the lobster with the gorilla head is looking for the gorilla with the lobster head. The way the game works is this. You shuffle the cards and then you reveal one in an area where everybody can sit. If you are playing with kids, you may want to give them a time to actually not just look at it, but what we had somebody saying out loud, oh, it's a giraffe on the body of a snail. That really helped. And then you reveal another one. Oh, it's a shark on the body of a gorilla. And then you reveal another one. Oh, it's a shark on the body of a pig. And then you reveal another one. Oh, it's a snail in the body of a gorilla. Oh, and we reveal another one. A pelican on the body of a giraffe, etc., etc., etc. You continue revealing until there is a match, until basically you have the 2 animals that they're being, I guess, messed up to start with. If, for example, I were to find now a pelican with the head and the body pattern of a giraffe, or a snail with the head and the body pattern of a gorilla. I'll just keep going and see if you can see some of the patterns, because you will have, different from Spotted, that every card is a hit. Every card for sure will apply. Here you may have a number of cards around, and sometimes a considerable number that is visible out there before anything can be found. Maybe there is even a pattern already here and I don't see it. There is a match here and I don't see it. I'll just keep going and you let me know when we have one. Oh, is there a giraffe that looks like a shark? Come on, there should be. So as you can see, it's a lot more challenging. That's why at the beginning I had considerable misgivings about this game, because we had a large number of cards out there and my kids and I couldn't find any pattern. Then I started seeing some of the matches and my kids couldn't. And so basically either I would cheat, pretending not to see them and give him the clues. Oh, I think there might be something here, something there. Of course, but that wasn't particularly exciting either. But then, here's when it gets crazy. Then all of a sudden, the kids' brains started doing their work, and they started seeing the patterns almost as fast as I did, and then later faster than I did. And by the end, I was actually playing the game. That is, I was being honestly challenged to find the patterns before, to find the matches before they did, just like it happens in Spotted, that my kids are just darn good. While I'm talking, I'm also getting a little bit distracted, so I'm still wondering, any matches? Do you see any match? Well, let's assume that you found a match. When you find a match, you grab the Pigasus, you squish it, because what's the point otherwise of having such an amazing Pigasus? And then you point to the match that you believe you found. If you're playing with kids, give them up, a count of 3, because my little Louisa grabs it. Oh, now I'm going to tell you about the blah blah blah, and she's clearly just taking time. She has no idea of the pattern, and so we gotta be a little strict about it. So. But finally, just to give you an example, suppose that we do have this one here. Do you see the match now? I'll give you a minute. Feel free to pause. Here it is. Here's the match. The giraffe with the body of a pelican and the pelican on the body of a giraffe. So we grab the Pigasus and we identify the match. And we take the cards. If you got it wrong or you don't have a match, the rules say that you are gonna discard a number of cards that you acquired earlier equal to the number of players, and then you take a break because the kids are crying, because that's a really steep penalty. What we do in the game is that when I play with kids, which is really how I plan to play the game in the future too. I don't know, it's gonna be enough meat for adults during game night, but playing with kids. If you make a mistake, well, that's it. You cannot try to guess until somebody else had a chance. You don't lose points. It works better that way, trust me. And at the end of the game, cards are victory points. So you play until the deck is exhausted, and at that point, the player with the most cards wins the game. Now, there's an ambiguity in the rules about the end of the game, as it says that after the last card is revealed and potentially scored, players will add up their cards. So it's not the second that the card is revealed, last card is revealed, that the game is over. Otherwise, it cannot be scored. But what happens if, and it's likely at the end of the game, well, there are still cards out there. We reveal the last card, suppose it's this one, and somebody has a match which does not involve this one. Can they still score those matches? Or once the last card comes out, this is the only one that can be scored. That's the ambiguity. The way we play it is actually the game will be over when the last card is scored, or when all score, or we haven't seen that happen, but when all matches are found. So that if you see other matches, you can go for those first. But if you want the game to end soon because you think you're ahead, then and you find the match for the last card, then you match it and you have the end of the game. And this is how you play Pigasus. So Pigasus turned out to be a really pleasant surprise. I wanted to try because I was attracted by the weirdness of the images, and at the beginning it was really slow. Truly, it is the presence of the toy that kept my daughter's attention going when they couldn't find any match, neither could I. And then after a while, I started seeing the matches, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be one of those games where I have to, as the adult, suffer and sit here, and I can't really play it because either, if I play it honestly, I'm just gonna get all the matches. Until my daughter's brain, something started clicking in it, and like it happened in Spotted, they started just getting up to speed, and the game became a true family game. A true family game that I was playing at the best of my possibilities against them. There was a natural competition. I ended up not winning. My 9-year-old honestly won, and actually she started like a couple of turns behind us. So it is a true family game. It turned out to be very charming, a really nice shared experience with my daughters. They immediately asked me to play it again. And so it really works. I don't know if it works with every kid, and I really think this is mainly a family game or a children's game. I don't know that it has enough meat to really be a strong contender at game night, but as something to be played with kids, it was really charming. The toy, it's irrelevant, yes. It's a gimmick, yes. And however, if it really adds to the experience, is it truly relevant and a gimmick? Actually, something fun that we had is that we could use the position of the Pigasus as an equalizer. As the 9-year-old was scoring more and more points and the 6-year-old was falling behind and feeling a bit sad, we were increasingly put the Pigasus closer to the 6-year-old as a balancing mechanism. If you get a match, then the Pigasus is a little further from you. It's a simple thing, it's a fun thing. It didn't really have any impact mechanically, but it made the 6-year-old smile, and that also is very important. More challenging than Spotted if you like the kind of game, but an interesting variant on the idea of match recognition. The art is really strange and bizarre, but also precisely because of that refreshing, nothing I've seen before. So Pigasus, what a pleasant surprise. We enjoy playing it. My daughters enjoy playing it. They already asked me to play it again. Not just after we played twice last night, but they want to play it again. And yes, I'm very happy with the game, and actually I can't wait to play it again with my daughters.